Alright, welcome to my first What the Fuck Is, and the game I will be covering is The Adventures of Darwin. It was made by Vintage ETUN Systems. I'm going to put a link in the description. They made only PS2 games, and they were obscure titles, and they were mainly only released in Japan. So, quite interesting. So the story of Darwin Adventures is you are a monkey who has a premonition that an asteroid or meteor is going to crash into the Earth and destroy all life, and you're trying to evolve to solve the problem. So that's the main storyline. So how the gameplay works is there's a hub world, as you can see here. There's all sorts of things. This is a fully evolved hub world. It slowly grows as you evolve, as you do start out as a monkey. So there's all sorts of things here. You learn about gameplay, group size, you can regain your health, you can view the deaths in the groups, you can upgrade weapons, buy items, learn about new formations, and learn about enemy types. You can basically learn about everything you need to know about the game and all about your evolution as a character or group of characters through this hub world. And as you evolve, more structures come into the village, and you just evolve through that manner. It's quite interesting to see. So there's all sorts of useful items here that show, I guess, the evolution of your character and of your group to save the world. So you start out as monkeys, as you can see here, with no weapons and a basic group formation. As you can see at the top corner, you can see how many characters there is. As you find these yellow stars, you can have more monkeys or characters in your group, and you'll come across these big pillars that block your path that you need certain numbers to push down, and as you push them down you gain passage to new areas, which unlocks new items to collect, new enemies to fight. As you can see here, you're fighting a rabbit only with fists, as you are monkeys, and you slowly, as you get through each of the different areas, you slowly evolve. As you can see here, there's all 4 different areas. Well, actually there's 5. There's the primitive forest, there's an island, there's a cave, there's a desert, and there's like a future post-apocalyptic world. It's quite interesting. So here you can see the fully evolved group with the group of 25 with all the formations and weapons. So I'll go over all the different weapon types that there is. There's 3 main types. There's an axe for short range, there is a spear for mid-range, and a bow and arrow. And for each weapon type there is 3 different variants. As you progress, there's wood, which is the first, and then stone, which is the second, and metal, which is the third. So as you gain evolutions and as you beat each little world, you get different materials and access to materials. Again, as you would evolve, you evolve your weapons as well. So here you can see the spear in action, which is a mid-ranged weapon. It's quite powerful, so you can just throw it from a mid-range. As you can see here, he's just whipping them. And then the next would be the bow and arrow. As you can see here, you can fire it quite long range and take out flying type enemies, as there is flying type enemies as well. The game is pretty much like Pikmin, but with a lot more, I would say, violence. So here is the resource gathering. It's very much like Pikmin, as you need a certain amount of people to gather each material. Each material is different. The bigger it is, the more people you'll need in your group to carry them. As you can see, I have a large group, and they're picking up the items with ease, and you just take it back to the start of the level to go back to your village. So you take your resources back, you gain experience points and gather all sorts of experience and whatnot for your group to evolve. And here we're back in the depths of the Earth, which is the second world, just after the primitive forest. It's basically just a big deep cave, and you wander. There's all sorts of different enemies in each area of the each different world, I guess. So you get to experience that. There's all sorts of different challenges like this. To beat this world, you have to climb up a ramp with a certain formation, because if you go in the scattered formation, you'll lose a lot of enemies, or not a lot of enemies, you'll lose a lot of your group members. So you have to go in this line formation once you unlock it to be able to beat the level. And here's the different variations of formations. There's a circle variation, there's this plus sign variation, as you can see the circle, and then you have like a defense formation or an attack formation, the line formation as you saw earlier, and then the scattered formation, which is the standard formation, which is just everybody kind of follows along the leader. And this would be the third world. This is the island world. As you can see, it's inhabited by birds, crocodiles, and you'll see some fish later on in the video. So you just slowly move along. As this is a very highly evolved group, this level isn't much of a challenge. As you can see, they're just whipping spears and destroying the enemies quite quickly. But when you first play through the game, it is quite challenging, as you have small group numbers, low technology, so it does make the game quite challenging and quite fun, because you're trying to figure out what formations you need to do what. Like, see, you need the line formation to get across these pillars, or logs, I guess, and you can see the fish kind of popping out, and they'll jump across if you take your time and take out members of your group. So this would be the fourth world, the Erupting Volcano. It's one of the most challenging maps in the game, as just there's quite challenging enemies, such as that guy who will put your groups to sleep. There's antelope that just charge into you, which makes it challenging to stay as a group. There's these torches that are also a challenge that you need, as you can see, certain tools to break down. I believe you need metal to actually break them. So there's me trying to figure out what tool I need, and as you can see at the bottom, it's telling me that I can't break it until I get to the right thing. And as you can see, the antelope is attacking me, so you do have to be on your toes. Everything is hostile in the game, so it's quite interesting to see that. So once you destroy the furnace blower thing, you can get past it, and as you can see, there's the lion, and then there's these elephants. They're all over the place. This one was the most challenging part of the game that I found, and as you can see, it is getting darker. There is a day and night system, and it's constantly going, so as it becomes darker and darker, the levels become darker and darker, as you can see in the top right corner that it is there. And this is the final world. This is, I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head, actually. It's basically, you're in the future. As you can see, it's post-apocalyptic, which is quite an interesting way for the game to go, I find. But the last level is Future World, and you basically have to get through dinosaurs that have taken over the land, and yeah, it's one of the strangest places in this game. It just doesn't fit in with everything else that happens in the game. Like, as you see, there was islands, volcanoes, and jungles, and then all of a sudden you're in a future wasteland, which is quite interesting. All the enemies have gas masks, shoot fire, shoot poison. There's a lot of tough enemies. The dinosaurs are quite hostile. And this is the only place I believe that there is dinosaurs. And as you can see there in the far end, there's some dangerous place. But if you have any more ideas for what the fuck is, let me know. Thanks.